I'm Chris Bell, physiotherapist for the Western Bulldogs. I'm here today on behalf of the Victorian Amateur Football Association and LifeCare. We're going to be running through some taping techniques and some injury prevention tips. Hope you enjoy. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a basic ankle taping. The idea of the ankle taping is to provide some stability to the ankle joint. We're going to talk you through various elements of the ankle taping, but most importantly to get an idea of where we are on the ankle and what we're trying to prevent. So typically the ankle injury occurs to the ligaments on the outside part of the ankle, and they're typically stretched when the foot comes into this plantar flexed and inverted position. So I've basically outlined some bone markers that we have to be aware of. We've basically got the lateral malleolus, the head of the fifth metatarsal. The idea of the head of the fifth metatarsal being outlined is because we don't want to come with the tape too far down the foot. There's a tendon that comes down here called the peroneus longus tendon. Now if we cut into that tendon too close to the bone, it will cause an irritation to the tendon. On the inside part of the foot, I've outlined the medial malleolus, and also if you pull up with your foot for me, you'll see these tendons that sit on the front part of the ankle. Now if we come across those tendons with the tape, we'll cause some cutting into those tendons, and so we use some Fixamol or some sort of elastic cover to make sure we don't cut into those tendons. So we'll just apply the Fixamol to start off with. This simply protects the skin. So it doesn't do anything in terms of our taping technique, but it just acts as a protective surface for the skin. We put one of those at the front of the tibia tendons as we've discussed. We also cover one up at the back part of the Achilles tendon, because when we do our heel locks, which we're going to get to, we're going to make sure that we don't cut into that Achilles tendon either. So that's simply a protective surface for the skin. Then we use our rigid tape. You can use either the thinner rigid tape or you can use the thicker rigid tape, which I'm going to use today. It's important that you position the joint in the place that you want it taped. So a neutral position is often the best. You apply what we call an anchor. The anchor basically goes around the top part of the ankle. Now, you'll notice that I haven't gone too far up the ankle, so I'm not cutting into the calf muscle. I'm not over the actual Achilles tendon. I'm a little bit above the bony medial malleolus. Then what we do is we apply what we call a stirrup. So with the foot still in neutral, we start from medial. We basically run straight over that bony bump called the medial malleolus. We come to the lateral malleolus, and once again, crossing straight over that bony bump, apply a little bit of tension to the tape, and then apply pressure to the tape to get the stick. So that's stage one of the anchor. Then basically what we do is on the back half of that anchor, we apply a strip, and we make sure it comes around and it comes to the front half of the anchor on this side. Like so. And then we repeat the process. We start at the front part of this anchor, coming across, crossing over at the bottom of the foot, and ending up on the back side, the back half of the anchor on the outside part of the ankle. Like so. So they are our anchors that are now finished. We then carry on into what we call a figure 6, where we start on the outside part of the ankle, and we start on a little bit of an angle. That basically lets us come around, and we're now going to come into a figure 6, what we call, across the front of the ankle, where we come across and we finish on the opposite side. We'll do one of those figure 6s each side. Once again, starting on the outside, coming across, and for the figure 6 coming this side, we're going to come across, apply some tension to the tape, and stick. And there we have our anchors and our figure 6 complexes completed. Now to fix off with what we call the heel lock. Now the heel lock provides stability to the subtalar joint part of the ankle. A little bit more trickier, but not that hard to do once you get the hang of it. So your tape starts in the middle part of your taping job on the front. We want it to come on a 45-degree angle down the ankle, making sure we're not cutting into the Achilles tendon. So it really should come on the bottom part of the heel bone. So coming around, as you see, not hitting the Achilles tendon, touching, we come around on a 45, hook up under the ankle, apply some pressure with the tape, come up to the top again, tear, and stick. So that's a heel lock going one way. You can hold on with the heel lock and go all the way around, but I prefer to do one either side. So once again, starting on a 45 in the front part of the ankle, coming around, ducking back around just on top of that Achilles there, coming underneath, lifting up and over, and attaching back on the middle. Now as you can see, it's quite a comprehensive tape job, so it applies really good stability to the ankle. Then it's a matter of locking it off to make sure it all stays together. So once again, this bit of tape doesn't have any tension on it. It's literally to lock off and hold it all together. And then another bit at the back to make sure we don't get any tape cuts in the little hole that sits at the back there. And that's how we complete a basic tape job that gives really good stability to someone who's got a lateral ligament injury.